Alright everyone, and welcome to the Highland Collector YouTube channel, where I have yet another Black Series news video regarding Return of the Jedi anniversary figures. Now this is only going to be a short video, as I was in the middle of building the new LEGO Star Wars Inquisitor transport site whilst this news dropped. But anyway, we have our first look at the previously leaked convention exclusive carded Admiral Ackbar figure, and to be honest, although it's just another repaint, I personally do think this is a really cool looking figure. Although I do believe I'm in the minority with this opinion, as this version of Ackbar looks basic because it's painted to resemble the original vintage Kenner figure released in 1983, which I do think a few collectors didn't quite understand, as I did see some hate comments towards this one. Yet I do understand that some of the hate is justified, especially because I know these throwback paint jobs are not for everyone. And normally I'm not too interested in them myself, although I did like the Boba Fett and the Greedo they released, and this Ackbar is a welcomed addition to that little subline. But Ackbar has always been one of my favourites, and is an iconic part of Return of the Jedi, so I'm glad he's involved in the anniversary in some way. So I am pleased we're getting him again in a fairly different and interesting way, not just the standard figure repacked on a card, like the majority of the 40th anniversary figures we know are coming out. So at least there's something different with this Ackbar rather than just his packaging. Although, with that being said, I would have preferred they repainted him and slightly altered his uniform, turning him into one of the Mon Calamari crewmates we saw on the Home 1. Or even better, we could have got a deluxe multi-pack which came with some of the Mon Calamari officers, and also another Admiral Ackbar but in his commander chair. That Home 1 bridge multi-pack would have made for an amazing exclusive, but instead Hasbro went with this, which is definitely not as cool, but I don't hate this figure at all. I mean, they've done a great job at capturing the look of that retro Admiral Ackbar. Although it would have been a hard task to fail because it only uses like 5 colours. But this Admiral Ackbar comes with 2 accessories, those being his standard blaster and also a pointer thing that looks more like some sort of flute. But this baton accessory thing wasn't actually included with that first Admiral Ackbar, so it's good to see it here. It really should have been included with that first figure. But onto the packaging now. This figure comes in the classic scaled up vintage collection box, plastic bubble and everything. But it's actually different from that TVC-22 Ackbar we saw released a couple years ago. The main image is the same, but that's only because it's the perfect picture for Ackbar. However, the accent colour is teal instead of the dark green we saw on the vintage collection card back, which I think looks a lot nicer considering it's a colour that relates to the ocean, and with Ackbar basically being a fishman, I think it's a nice fit, which is probably why they used that colour on the original Kenner card back. And just like the Deluxe Boba Fett, it also has that nice 40th anniversary logo on the top left hand corner. So yeah, all in all, I think it's a pretty solid Ackbar figure. But with that being said, they could have done so much more. Like I said, a commander's chair would have been amazing, or a Mon Calamari crewmate. Those would have been 20,000 leagues better. But nevertheless, I still personally like the look of this figure, and I'm definitely more hyped for this one than the previously mentioned Boba Fett. But on the topic of deluxe figures, we previously knew there were going to be 2 deluxe carded figures that would be released for Return of the Jedi's 40th anniversary. Those being the Endor Rebel Soldier and also the recently leaked and previously talked about deluxe Boba Fett, both of which were released for $33 respectively. But thanks to Yakface, we now know there will be an additional Return of the Jedi deluxe figure, meaning there could potentially be a third wave of anniversary figures. It's unknown what this figure is, but if I had to guess, it's probably going to be another Gamorean guard. An amazing figure that was previously going to release on card with the Rancor HasLab, but ultimately that didn't happen, did it? I mean, it makes sense. Hasbro could easily repack this Gamorean guard. I'm like 95% certain that this is going to be that mystery figure. Although there are other characters that they could definitely do instead, and I would honestly prefer to have, including a deluxe Royal Guard with a ton of weapons, a deluxe battle damage Vader from the throne room with a removable helmet and 2 heads, one of Hayden and one of Sebastian Shaw. And finally, an Amanaman figure would be incredible, especially carded. I mean, he's such a unique alien from Jabba's palace, we definitely need him in the Black Series at some point, and I think the 40th anniversary for Return of the Jedi is the perfect time to get him, as I don't think Hasbro would make him anywhere else. So I'm hoping that this figure will be a Amanaman, although knowing Hasbro that's highly unlikely. But that's it for today's short news video. Let me know down below in the comments what character you want that mystery figure to be, and also your thoughts on this new Admiral Ackbar as well. Say what you will about it, but we can all agree this figure has definitely seen some shit. But that's it for now. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.
May the Force be with us.